And a good evening, baseball fans. We welcome you one more time. We are in Houston, the 2025 Houston Super Regional NIT, the Super 1000, the best teams in the country being represented around the tournament sites here throughout the greater Houston area. My name is Chris Aller with the play-by-play. We bring you a great matchup here tonight. The ZT Prospects national team going up against the USPrime Titans, two good clubs, getting their first couple of games in the books here this evening. We'll be under the lights momentarily. It's a 6 o'clock start time. Jarejo is the head umpire. He'll be calling balls and strikes, managing the game for perfect game here. Reed, your official scorer behind the plate, taking care of business, doing good work for a perfect game, and those individuals that are helping move these tournaments along. 1,000 teams, wow, throughout Houston. It's unbelievable. It's also the big rodeo weekend starting off here in Houston. So there's a lot of action going on. We're at the Premier Baseball Complex and looking forward to a great matchup here tonight. As I mentioned, the head coach, Carlos Avila, skipper of the club. He'll take care of business for the Prospects, working with his staff as well. And we'll be getting underway. Your home team tonight for game number 1 of 2, the 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock match respectfully. The ZT Prospects national team will be the home team. They'll start out on the defensive side, and USPrime Titans will start out on the offensive side. Should be a good matchup as the sun will start to set here in Texas for day number 1 of the 2025 perfect game, Houston Super 1000. It's a Super Regional NIT. The winner of the event gets an automatic bid into the national championships later on in the 2025 season. Tristan Hernandez, the right-hander, will be one of the pitchers for USPrime. Brandon Manavong starting for the Prospects. He'll take care of things on the hill for ZT to get things started behind the plate. Catching Nateo Victorio. Monster doing a fine job for his club throughout the 2025 season. Over on the first base side, Daniel Badar. Over in the second base position in the 4 spot, Blake Barberane. Over on the third base side, Easton O'Quinn. Shortstop, Charlie Blaylock, taking care of business there. And in your outfield over on the left side, you'll have Dre Murakami. And running things in center field, Trey Lawrence. Rounding things out on the right side, Brody Taylor. That's the defensive set for the ZT Prospects national team. We'll get things underway here shortly as Manavong takes some more warm-up pitches. Stay with us. We're bringing it to you live. We'll be right back. So we are ready to go here, and the sun continues to set. You can see the reflection off of the field right now. That'll improve the quality of our shot once that goes away. But we're ready to start things off. Gross starts things out for the Titans. Manavong kind of taking a look, the umpire right away, taking a look at his wrist guard and saying you're going to have to remove that. And so a little bit of housekeeping before we even get the first pitch off as Coach Trey coming out of the dugout for the Prospects. And I said, fine, Manavong, I'll put it in my pocket. We're good to go. Let's play some baseball. So Haro ready to go. He puts it in play. Game number 1 of 2 here tonight at the Premier Complex. Manavong popped up behind home plate. And underneath it, Victorio makes the grab. So a good cut at the plate, but popped up behind the plate. And like that, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Prospects. Oh, slow chop at the plate there. Tish, right-handed hitter for USPrime. And the count is 0-1 with 1 out here in the top of the first. Pitch on the way. Manavong inside, a good cut at the plate. And the count goes to 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Manavong and the prospects with one out here early on. Just steps out. Alonso, the three-hitter on deck for Prime. Manavong upstairs with the fastball. 83 on the top there for him. And the count will go to 1-2. Manavong, curveball, drop three, will tag there. Victorio pops out quickly and 2 down. So Manavong and the prospects here with 2 outs. The three-hitter, the shortstop Alonso, will step in for USPrime. Ball's popped up behind the plate. Manavong makes the clearing, and he does it like that. He'll pull 2 in himself, and Manavong will get a strikeout. They'll turn it over, 1-2-3. We'll head to the middle half. Stay with us. You're enjoying game number 1, the 2025 Perfect Game Houston Super Regional IT, the Super 1000. We'll be right back. Go back to live action, getting things settled in here as we get to the prospects. The home team will be on the bottom of the first. So stepping up for the prospects, Charlie Blaylock. Blaylock swings it from the right side. Charlie, a versatile player. On the defensive side, Tristan Hernandez, the right-handed hurler for the club. He'll take care of business there. Isaiah catching for the club. We'll get to the defensive set. We're ready to go. Hernandez, first pitch on the way. The ball is up. The count is 1-0. Breaking ball, just missing there. Strike call. And the count goes to 1-1. So Hernandez locates there and gets the outside part of the plate called. It's a 1-1 count. And a good pitch. Gets the inner half of the plate, and the count is 1-2. So Hernandez working ahead here on Blaylock. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Pitch on the way. Ball's out. The count goes to 1-1. Manavong, shortstop, one hop, a good gather there. Throw across is in time. So a good defensive play on the shortstop side. Alonzo able to make a routine play there, and Blaylock will have a seat. USPrime will put up the first out. We're playing kind of a quad setup, a lot of noise around the different fields here tonight, with some of the top teams in the country playing here under the lights as the sun sets here in Houston. Mateo Victorio in the box for the Prospects, and the ball is low. The count is 1-0. So you'll probably pick up some noise along the way, but a lot of enthusiasm and high energy here as a big tournament being a Super NIT. Hernandez goes low, and the count is 2-0 to Victorio. And Hernandez to deal, pitch on the way. Strike up the middle there as Victorio takes a look. And the count is 2-1. Easton O'Quinn on deck for the Prospects. And a ball is just out. And Victorio looking at a 3-1 count. Coach Trey down on third base side. And Victorio takes a cut. And the count goes full at 3-2. And a ball out, and so Victorio, disciplined at the plate, finds himself on board with a walk. And Easton O'Quinn will step in. Easton, a versatile player, an athlete, plays some basketball and had a chance to talk to his dad, and a lot of really cool stuff in his background. As Easton takes a look, Hernandez comes up the middle, and the count is 0-1. Excellent basketball player, enjoys the outdoors. They live in a really cool environment, and a lot of fishing, hunting, different aspects of life. On the move, throw down to second, a high throw, and that gets through in center. And good wheels, and on his way to third. And like that, ball breaks through on the throw down. And advancing all the way to third. So opportunity here for the Prospects. A 1-1 count. As O'Quinn lays off there, the count is 2-1. Cameron Walters over on third, running for Victorio as Hernandez goes elevated there, and the count is 3-1 to O'Quinn. Easton, an outstanding hitter, trying to find a pitch he can get a cut here with Walters over at third. The 3-1 pitch. And a ball's high flyer. And that ball is skied out and out of play. It looks like the left fielder started to track the ball. And it dropped in foul territory, but inside the park. Must have lost track of it. And the count goes full at 3-2. So a full count. Hernandez and USPrime here in the bottom of the first. No score. Cameron Walters and the Prospects on a walk to Victorio, and 2 stolen bases puts Walters in scoring position. And like that, Easton takes one. Not what he wanted to do, but he's on board. And the Prospects with runners at the corners and 1 out here in the bottom of the first frame. No score if you're joining us live here. Chris Allard with the call throughout this 2025 Houston Super 1000 Super Regional NIT. Blake Barbarena steps in. Runners at the corners, O'Quinn on the move. Ball's cut foul. So Blake having a good season so far with an opportunity with runners at the corners as Hernandez will work from the stretch. On the move is O'Quinn. Strike called at the plate. They'll cut it off. The second baseman, no throw all the way down, and trying to get Walters to bite from third. And the count is 0-2. And a ball just missing out. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Blake Barberena. O'Quinn at second, Walters at third. As I mentioned, he got on board running for the catcher Victoria, who got on with a walk. And curveball just missing. And the count goes to 2-2. And a 2-2 count as Barberena will step back in. 1 out on the books here. Blake right side, that ball is deep. And to the fence line in the power alley for Barberena. Here comes one in Walters. And on his way with a stand-up triple, Blake Barberena. So he gets a 2-run RBI with Walters and Easton O'Quinn scoring. So the prospects will bring 2 on the triple from Barberena. And Trey Lawrence stepping in for the prospects, looking at an 0-1 count here. Trey hitting in the 5 spot with Barberena at third. Curveball, swing and a miss there. Good pitch for Hernandez. As Hernandez works ahead here in the count, and the count is 0-2. Hard hit ball, gets through, shortstop reaches for it, no play there. As Alonso went to his right, and on board with a single and an RBI is Trey Lawrence. So the prospects get their third over. Lawrence gets on with a single, and that'll bring up Brody Taylor. Brody Taylor hitting in the 6th spot with good speed over on first. A good pitch there for Hernandez. And the count is 0-1. Lawrence being held on. Hernandez from the stretch. Pitch on the way. Hard hit ball. Second baseman gathers there. They get 1, and hey, they turn it. So a good double play there. So they went and able to convert. Good work on the defensive side. But the prospects, they strike first. They pick up 3. We'll head to the top. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action. Once again, we welcome you here. We're at the Premier Baseball Complex just outside of Houston. We're in Tomball, Texas. And if you've never competed at the Premier facility, you should check it out. It's truly second to none. A great location here just outside of the Houston area. in Tomball. Best teams in the country. The Super 1000 here, brought to you by Perfect Game. To learn more about what's going on in the world of Perfect Game Baseball, go to pg.org. Well, Manavong and the Prospects are able to bring 3 over on a walk initially to Victoria, who got on board. Walters ran for him. He was able to get 2 bases stolen out of the deal. And Blake Barberena came in with a base-clearing triple to put 2 across, 2-run RBI for him. And behind him in the 5 spot, Trey Lawrence gets a solid single and an RBI out of that. That's your 3rd run. And then the Titans were able to convert a double play on Brody Taylor, the 6-hitter. And that'll bring us here to the top of the 2nd. Manavong, slow roller, cutting off. O'Quinn had a little trouble there. So an uncanny play for Easton O'Quinn. Over on the 3rd base side, he was aggressive cutting the angle from the 3rd base position as Charlie Blaylock was coming from short, but just not able to glove it. And like that, USPrime puts a runner on. So on official scoring, probably a reach on air there as Manavong ready to deal. Manavong comes inside. He'll get the strike called. The count is 0-1. So Alex gets on board. And the count is 1-1. Brandon hitting in the 5 spot. Alex over at first. Good pitch there. Swing and a miss. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez, the pitcher, on deck for the club. Alex over at first. Fastball comes through, swing and a miss. He'll get the K, so Manavong. And the Prospects will pick up their first out here in the top of the 2nd. And a strike called for Manavong. He'll work ahead here on the pitcher, Tristan Hernandez. Alex over at first base, swing and a miss there. And the count goes to 0-2. So USPrime trying to get one back here with the runner at first base. Badar holds him on. And from the stretch, Manavong ready to deal. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, high swing and a miss. That'll do it. Manavong will get the K. And Hernandez will have a seat. Isaiah steps in with 2 outs on the books. Manavong works ahead there, gets a strike called at the plate. The count's 0-1. And Manavong, good location there. And working ahead at an 0-2 count with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 2nd if you're just joining us. We welcome you this evening as the lights are starting to set up here on the field at the Premier Baseball Complex. The 0-2 pitch. Ball's cut foul and out of play. So the Prospects with 2 outs. Alex for USPrime got on board with a reach on air. Pitch on the way, breaking ball, just missing outside, says no. And a little elevated, says our head umpire, Haro, doing a nice job tonight behind the plate. And a ball on the field here will shut things down. As I mentioned, we're in this quad format. And a lot of action going on here tonight. Saturday night under the lights. Couldn't ask for better conditions. The weather's perfect. The 0-2 pitch. Manavong, fastball, runs it outside and misses. And the count goes to 2-2. to the 7-hitter Isaiah. Kenneth on deck. 2-2 count. Alex over at first, Bedard holding him on. And like that, Manavong knew it. Strike 3 called. So the prospects, light work there. They go 1-2-3 in the top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. ZT Prospects national team leading this one over USPrime Titans 3-0. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Go back to live action. We welcome you here tonight under the lights at the Premier Baseball Complex, just outside of Houston. We're in Tomball, Texas, a beautiful facility. As I mentioned earlier, day number 1, the 2025 Houston 1000, the Super Regional NIT Tournament. 1,000 teams gathered around this location and many others throughout this weekend. An excellent weekend setup of baseball and Super 1000 teams from all around the country. And it's also a big festival. And last night they had an opening ceremony, and it was a kind of a good time, social event for a lot of people at the Constellation Field in Sugar Land as an opening night. They had some softball going on. It's kind of a celebrity thing happening. A lot of fun for many people. Well, we're ready to go. Jimmy Stout will step in. And Tristan Hernandez stays on the hill. Ball is up. The count's 1-0. As I mentioned last night, being the big opening ceremony, and lots of things happening there. And of course, great baseball throughout many locations here throughout this particular weekend. And the ball gets away on the inner half of the plate. The count's 2-0 to Jimmy Stout. So Stout, the 2-0 count. And Jimmy takes a cut there, a big swing there at the plate. Hernandez gets that through. And the count is 2-1. Breaking ball just missing there. The count goes to 2-2. Correction, 3-1. And a ball is up, ball 4. Jimmy Stout gets on the easy way. He gets a walk, and he'll start off 90 feet over at first base, and that'll bring up Daniel Bedard. So D will step in for the prospects, facing Hernandez for the first time here under the lights. As I mentioned, the weather conditions have just been absolutely perfect. We're probably in the 70s right now, low 70s. Very comfortable. It'll cool off. Prospects will play back-to-back here this evening as Jimmy Stout takes a little provisional there, and he'll come back to first. So Bedard looks at ball 1 as he, little housekeeping from Haro. Prospects staying in the dugout, safety first. And the count is 1-0. And a good pitch there. Falling off the plate, looked like a slider. And the count is 1-1. Stout over at first. High fly ball. Shortstop making a move. And that ball drops in there, and the play at second is in time. So Stout hesitated. He was thinking he was going to have to come back to first as the shortstop released there and kind of went into shallow center. The ball dropped out of his glove, but Stout was just not there yet, and they got the force over at second. So Bedard gets on board. And one down with Stout at second being out there. Manavong steps in. Cuts it foul to the right side and out of play. So Hernandez will work ahead here on Manavong with one out. It's a tough decision when you're in that situation that Stout was with a high pop-up. It was a shallow ball. And you just never know what's going to happen, but he just wasn't far enough over to second to get back in time to beat the throw-in. Curveball in for the strike there. The count goes to 0-2. So Hernandez locating there. And Bedard over at first. Ball out, the count goes to 1-2. Manavong, versatile player for the organization. Shortstop, can pitch, move around the infield, and a good bat at that. The 1-2 pitch. Shortstop, there's one there. Throw across is not in time, and that ball goes to the fence line. Manavong is on his way, and he's going to have to get down, and he does in time. So they covered well on the Prime side, but Manavong was able to round and find himself at second. Bedard was out on the force. So 2 outs, and Dre Murakami will come in, and Manavong's pitching, so they're going to run for him. And it looks like Mason Moeller is going to step in and run for Brandon Manavong, the pitcher of record for the Prospects. So Murakami will step in with Moeller over at second. And 2 outs on the books here in the bottom of the second frame. Pitch on the way. Fastball missing up. The count is 1-0. The Prospects were able to bring 3 over on a triple and a single. And fastball just getting called strike. Arrow a little slow on making the calls, but he's right on. And the count goes to 1-1. Shortstop rolling in, pitch on the way. And a ball missing out. The count goes to 2-1. So Murakami like to extend the inning. Hernandez on the other side like to get over on the offensive side. They stranded one, their last at bat. Pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss there. Murakami takes the cut. Hernandez runs it inside. And the count goes to 2-2 with 2 outs. And foul tip right off the catcher. Isaiah kind of rattled him a little bit. He's fine. Pointing over to his coach, and Jairo, our head umpire, will give it a moment. He'll walk it out. Just take a second here. Just make sure Isaiah's good. And the count holds it 2-2. So Murakami and the Prospects here in the bottom of the second, the runner at second, lead this one 3-0. Shortstop shuffling in, he rolls up and ranges off. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hernandez gets the K. They'll leave one on the bags. And we'll turn it to the third. Prospects leading this one over USPrime Titans. Chris Allard with the call. We'll be right back. Go back to live action. Manavong takes his final warm-up pitch. Victorio sends it down. And they'll bring it in, and we'll be ready to go here on the top of the third. We are through 2 complete frames. The prospects, as I mentioned, putting up 3 in the first. Barberena with a triple and a 2-run RBI out of it, and Lawrence came in the 5 spot with a single runner on, gets an RBI out of that. That's their 3 runs. So we're ready to go here. 7, 8, 9 scheduled. Swing and a miss. Correction, 8, 9, 10 as Kenneth takes a cut, and the count is 0-1. And another swing and a miss there. Manavong works ahead. The count is 0-2. Kenneth looking to try to get on board for USPrime. Titans have had 1 runner on in the first. A correction in the second frame, but not able to convert it. Fastball upstairs misses. The count's 1-2. Ball's hit to the right side. A good cut there. And that ball on the right side. Brody Taylor will pull it in quickly. But a well-hit ball. So Kenneth gets on board with a single. And the 8-hitter does his thing for USPrime. And a good knock there to get on board. So Kenneth finds himself down at first. Bedar will hold him on. Manavong will work from the stretch. And the 9-hitter, Rudy, will step in. Right side gap for Kenneth. Solid knock there. Looks at strike 1. Rudy, the count's 0-1. Kenneth with an average lead. Nothing provisional there. A couple extras. Pitch on the way. Good stop behind the plate. Victorio keeps it out in front. And the count is 1-1. And fastball. Good cut there. Manavong gets it through. Elevates there. The count is 1-2. And Manavong, strike on the outside part of the plate. And that'll do it right there. Manavong gets the K. And the 9-hitter Rudy will have a seat. David will step in, the 10-hitter for USPrime, with Kenneth on board. So 1 hit so far for USPrime here. Throw back over to Bedar as Kenneth gets back in time. Ball's chopped foul. Victorio kind of squeezing his hand. He's fine. And the count is 0-1. So an 0-1 count. David plays right field for the Titans. Manavong taking a look over at first as Kenneth, just a small lead off the bases there. Pitch on the way. And a pitch on the outside part of the plate locates. Strike called there. So Manavong, good movement. Runs it outside and gets the call. An 0-2 count to David with 1 out. Bedar still holding on over at first. Kenneth. Back pick there. The tag is on and back in time. Kenneth was leaning a ways towards second, but was able to come back in time on the back pick attempt by Victoria. Ball called at the plate. The count's 1-2. And strike 3 there. That'll do it. So Manavong working well. Picks up another strike. He gets a K there. Manavong working on 5 Ks here through the top of the third. Back to the top of the order. Isaiah steps in with a runner at first. Opportunity here. High fly ball. Off the third, O'Quinn. He makes the adjustment, he'll pull it in. That'll do it. They'll leave one on the bases. As the Prospects, they'll get out of that one. It's 3-0. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Prospects get on the offensive side. Stay with us. We will be right back. Well, as we bring you back to live action, we're ready to go here. Bottom of the third frame, Charlie Blaylock. Top of the order for the Prospects. Hernandez stays on the hill for USPrime. Bunt attempt presenting there. Strike called at the plate. Count is 0-1. A strike outside, so Hernandez makes an adjustment, runs it out, and 0-2. So like that, Blaylock. An 0-2 count, locked and loaded, ready to go. Ball's hit to the third base side, a good attempt, laying it out, and Blaylock gets on board with a single. So Alex, for USPrime, made a good effort to his left, but not able to knock it down. Blaylock with good speed. Kenneth over on the first base side. Victorio in, last at bat. Well hit ball, that ball's deep in the power alley. That's gonna go to the fence. The right side, here comes Blaylock, he will score. On his way to third is Victorio. They're going to shut him down there, and in like that, a stand-up triple and an RBI. And a well-hit ball deep into the power alley for Victoria on the right side. So the Prospects will pick up their fourth run with no outs. And left side, like that, Easton O'Quinn gets into the act. Here comes Victorio. They're going to run O'Quinn over to second. And he'll shut it down there. So the Prospects pick up their 5th here. And Blake Barberena will step in. Easton O'Quinn over at 2nd for the Prospects. You can see here we're under 100% of the lighting here as the shortstop shuffles in. Pitch on the way. And a strike called on the outside. The count's 0-1. And the count is 0-2. Quinn at 2nd, shortstop in tight. Hernandez takes a look, pitch on the way. Ball struck foul to the left side. The left fielder a long route, no play there. So the count holds at 0-2. Barberena's last at bat, he got a triple and a 2-run RBI out of it. He got a single so far from Charlie Blaylock, triple for Victoria. And Easton O'Quinn in with the double. Couple of RBIs, 2 runs over so far. Shortstop in tight. And the ball's fouled off. Hernandez ahead here in the count. Alonso's ranged up now, rolled off second baseman, playing in short on the bag, but plenty of room there for O'Quinn. Fastball upstairs, the count goes to 1-2. Field well lit here tonight. Very comfortable conditions. It was pretty warm today. Forecast is much of the same for tomorrow. Curveball just missing. Count goes to 2-2. Full count. Barberena 3-2. Brandon, the second baseman, as I mentioned, kind of in tight on the bag. He'll roll off, and here comes shuffling in on the backside. Hernandez takes a long look. Pitch on the way. Ball's hit, shallow, right side. Could drop in, and it does. They're going to run O'Quinn home. Here comes the throw in time. It's a one-hopper, not there. And no play at second, so Barberena takes advantage of that on the throw-in. And it was an elevated throw from right field. So Barberena ends up at second, and O'Quinn will score. They'll bring across their 6th. Trey Lawrence will step in, no outs. Barberena at second. Low in the zone, strike called. And the count is 0-1. Lawrence had a single and an RBI his last at bat. Opportunity again here with Barberena at second. Right side. Ball's hit well, right fielder backing up. Ball gets to the fence line, rounding and heading on his way to third. They're bringing in the run in Barberena. They're going to throw to third, a high throw. And like that, Trey Lawrence gets a triple and an RBI. So they pick up their 6th here. And so a single and a triple. And an RBI at 2 at-bats for Trey Lawrence. And a visit out to the mound to Hernandez as we'll take a moment in the action here. The Prospects leading this one 6-0. We're in their bottom of the 3rd. You're enjoying the 2025 Perfect Game Houston Super 1000. It's a Super Regional NIT. Chris Allard with the call. I will be right back. Well, back to live action, ready to go. A quick conference with Hernandez. He'll stay on the bump for USPrime as Brody Taylor steps in. He's got Trey Lawrence at 3rd. Lawrence, so far, he's got himself 2 RBIs on a single and a triple in his last 2 at-bats. And one count, no outs here. Pitch on the way. Taylor, ball's popped up right behind us and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to Brody Taylor. Taylor looking for a knock here, trying to extend the lead for the Prospects. Hernandez and the USPrime have had a runner on and not able to convert. They've had 2 opportunities. Manavong doing a good job pitching so far for the club. Pitch on the way. Taylor deep. That ball's tailing a bit. Center fielder, a good route, good speed there. And an excellent grab for the center fielder on a well-hit ball by Brody Taylor. But he'll get the RBI, and Trey Lawrence will come home. They pick up their 1st. And they bring across their 7th run here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jimmy Stout will step in for the Prospects. So Taylor gets an RBI on a sac fly. And the count is 1-0 to Jimmy Stout. Bases are cleared. Bottom of the 3rd frame, we are through 2. Ball's upstairs. The count goes to 2-0. And a ball out. Jimmy looks at a 3-0 count. And Hernandez answers back with a strike. Stout taking there. The count's 3-1. And a ball out, ball 4. So Jimmy Stout getting on board the easy way tonight. Stout with a couple of walks. Last at bat as well, and Bedard will step in. Bedard got on board his last at bat. And And Stout over on the first base side. Kenneth will hold him on. Hernandez from the stretch. And they could tie up at first, and back in time is Jimmy Stout. So Bedard right to the second baseman. Didn't have to go too far there. So Brandon takes care of that, and they get their second out. So 2 down, and Manavong will step in. So a pass ball will bring Jimmy Stout over to second base. And Stout moves across. The count's 1-0. Prospects. Very productive third here. Well hit ball. Left fielder able to reel that in. So a fly out, but the Prospects will bring across 5. And they'll lead this one 8-0. We'll head to the 4th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, as we get ready to start things off here, the top of the 4th, Prospects bring 5 over in the 3rd. It's 8-0 and a pitching change. Samisi Zermeno, right-handed hurler for the club, ready to go. Samisi in addition to the club this weekend. As that ball gets away, the count is 1-0. Samisi plays for another one of the ZT organizations out on the West Coast, I believe. I may stand corrected there, I believe, with the ZT Brown Club. And the count is 2-0. So Sermisi just trying to settle in here as the USPrime Titans trying to get themselves an opportunity to get on the board. And the ball's upstairs. The count's 3-0. So decent velo here out of Cermisi, but he's got to just settle in and locate a bit. And a 3-0 count. Fastball up and in at 83. And a 4-pitch walk. Ronnie, the pitching coach for the club, is going to head out and have a quick talk. Cermisi just trying to settle into his game. They'll have a quick conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So a quick conversation. Ronnie talks to his pitcher, Cermisi, just to settle him down. And the prospects here in the fourth frame, Manavong, solid outing all the way through 3. And Bedar holding on at first base for the prospects here, the runners. Cermisi from the stretch. And a ball gets away on the move. So Isaiah ends up at second on a pass ball. Actually, a wild pitch there, not a pass ball. So wild pitch from Cermisi, having a little bit of trouble here with the prospects as Isaiah ends up at second. So Alonso. Cermisi takes a long look. Blaylock ranges up. Fastball inside. Good pitch there. Finally makes the adjustment and is able to bring his pitch down. He's thrown most of his pitches upstairs and out of the zone. And a cut there on the inside part of the plate as Alonso trying to get his man Isaiah over the plate. We've got no outs here at the top of the fourth. And again, Cermisi comes in with the fastball. As Alonso takes another swing, the count is 1-2. When you look at Cermisi's release point, seems to be a little bit elevated. Trying to make some adjustments here. Got to work downhill. Third base side. They take a look at third. Here comes one. Bedar's going to throw? No, they'll let Isaiah take off, and he ends up at third. Bedar didn't have a play over there. So they get the out. And the prospects bring up their first out here. So Quinn takes care of that one from the third base side. And one down here in the top of the fourth. So Victorio, quick visit out to the bump just to talk to Cermisi, say, hey, settle down. You're starting to locate. I like that. Alex steps in. Curveball, good movement there. And a strike called. The count's 0-1. So Cermisi settling in here after a pair of walks. And a ball on the field. Coach Eric Ortiz makes the pitch calls. Same pitch missing off the plate. And the count goes to 1-1. And a ball's cut foul. So a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Cermisi appears to be settling in here. After 2 walks, Isaiah at third base with good speed. Fastball upstairs. 81 on the gun. But you got to be able to locate it. Good arm, just needs to make some of those adjustments with his arm slot. Pitch in the way, curveball. That's a strike all day long. And that was nasty. So a strikeout for Samisi, a nasty breaking ball. And they've got 2 outs on the books with Isaiah at third. He'd like to get home. Brandon steps in, the second baseman. Fastball, cut foul, straight back and out of play. Count is 0-1. And fastball gets that through at 82. And a swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. So Samisi, opportunity to get out of this one. Isaiah at third. Trying to get home here and get one on the boards. And a ball missing up and out. The count is 1-2. Slider off the plate. The count goes to 2-2. Zermeno steps off the rubber there. He'll reset. Isaiah at third for USPrime. The 2-2 pitch. Right side. Good gather there. Charlie Blaylock. A correction. Blake Barbarena over on the second base side takes care of business. And Zermeno gets out of that. They leave one on the bags. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Prospects leading this one 8-0. Well, we're ready to roll here as we get starting at the bottom of the fourth inning. The Prospects leading 8-0. And Dre Murakami will start things off as Hernandez will stay on the hill for the USPrime Titans. Murakami ready to go. We're in the fourth. Bottom half. Count is 1-0. So Murakami not biting there. Hernandez is Done a good job pitching so far. Prospects just able to take advantage on some of the pitches, but hanging in there. Ball's up. The count goes to 2-0. So Murakami steps back in, locked and loaded here with a 2-0 count. And Hernandez comes inside. And the count goes to 3-0. So Murakami looking for a good pitch here. Hernandez is going to have to throw a strike. Coach Trey down on the third base side. See if he gives him the green light on a good pitch. The 3-0 count, ball 4. So Murakami gets a free ride down to first and finds himself on board here as Charlie Blaylock. They'll be back to the top of the order. So Blaylock last at bat with a single, looking for a knock here with Murakami over on the first base side. So Isaiah, just a quick word to talk to his pitcher Hernandez, saying, hey Tristan, we got this thing, man. Let's lock it down. As the baseball comes in on these aluminum overhangs that keep the shade and sun off and protection. They're awfully loud, as you probably just picked that up. Murakami, pitch on the way. Good looking pitch there. And a strike called. Charlie lays off. Count is 0-1. Kenneth holding him on at first. On the move. Pitch on the way. Throw. Good throw down to second. The tag is on. And in time. So Isaiah with an excellent throw. Charlie, actually, Murakami had a big jump and good speed, but an outstanding throw, and the tag was slapped on. And Murakami will have a seat, 1 out. Chopped foul off the third base side in foul territory, and it's pulled in. So 2 down, and Victoria will step in. So 2 defensive plays. Excellent throwdown from the catcher to get the first out, and Blaylock popping out to the third baseman as Victoria looks at a strike. And a good pitch there, locating on the inner third of the plate. Mateo thought it was a ball. A 1-2 count, a little elevated there. The count goes even to 2-2. And a ball is out. Count goes full at 3-2. And that's ball 4. And Victoria finds himself on board after a triple and an RBI. And Easton O'Quinn will step in. Easton with a double his last at bat. Prospects looking to add on here. Pitch on the way. Ball bounces. That'll go right up the middle to center field. And rounding second, they bring it in quickly. Cameron Walters over at second. Walters running for Victoria, and that brings up Barberena. And a ball pulled foul, out of play. Barberena's had a productive night here as he lays off, and the count goes to 1-1. Triple, 2-run RBI, a double and an RBI. So some productive work out of Barberena, shuffling in the shortstop. He ranges up, well hit ball. That ball's deep. And on the fence line below the yellow, as they run it in, and Barberena flying around the bases, and that ball goes. He's going to come in and overthrow to third, and Barberena. A home run in the park, a long throw in, and the cut was too high to the third base side. And Barberena, instead of shutting him down with a triple, he'll score. So they clear the bags. So 3 runs over with Barberena coming across as well. And in the park home run on the overthrow. And a ball's pulled foul by Trey Lawrence. And the prospects at 11-0 here in the bottom of the 4th frame. Barberena stroked that ball big time, and it was just below the yellow, which otherwise would have been considered a home run. It was very close. It didn't miss by much, but he was able to come all the way in on a high throw into the third baseman, which went over his head into the fence line. Barberena was on the move. Lawrence with a big cut there. The count is 0-2 to Trey. Lawrence cuts foul. So Lawrence a single and a triple, trying to continue his streak here tonight. He's got a couple of RBIs on his books as well. Hernandez ready to deal. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Got him. Curveball. Good looking pitch for Hernandez, and just got Lawrence off balance, but the damage is done. Barberena takes a big stroke to the right side, almost clears the yard. They bring across 3 additional. It's 11-0. We'll head to the 5th. Stay with us. You're enjoying the 2025 perfect game, Houston Super 1000, the Super Regional NIT. Chris Aller with the call. We'll be right back. Well, back to live action. Samisi Zermeno. He settled in and was able to take care of business. They left one on the bases, and Isaiah, as he got on board with a walk, was able to steal second and ended up at third, but they couldn't convert it. We're ready to go here. Swing and a miss. The count is 0-1. So 6, 7, 8 batters, another swing and a miss there. Tristan Hernandez, the pitcher of record, hitting in the 6th spot. Isaiah on deck, pitch on the way, fastball. That might do it. And strike 3 called there. So Zermeno, 1, 2, 3 pitches, gets the K. The 7-hitter, Isaiah, will step in. The prospects put themselves in a position here in the top of the 5th frame to run rule it. Ball's chopped foul to the third base side, and a ball is out of play. So the third base coach was right on it with his eyes, and I think he's probably saying that O'Quinn gloved the ball right on the line, and if that were the case, that ball's in play. So that's not the case. And Isaiah will come back in another shot. The count is 0-1 with 1 out. The prospects will play following the conclusion of this one, the 8 o'clock game. And a ball comes straight back. And Samisi Zermeno, an 0-2 count here on Isaiah, the 7-hitter. And swing and a miss, slider, good pitch there. Right off the plate, swing and a miss, so Samisi doing his thing. He gets back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th frame. We're in the 8th. Correction, the 8th hitter, Kenneth, will step in. And they're down to their final out in a run rule situation. It's 8 after 5, and ZT's the home team. Ball's cut foul, straight back and out of play. Count is 0-1. And a ball swung foul. Berdar off of first base. No play there. That's out of play. So an 0-2 count. Third base side. O'Quinn throws across to Berdar. And that'll do it right there. So the prospects, a 1-2-3 inning for Samisi Zermeno, showing up with the club this particular tournament, doing a fine job. He was a little shaky to start off with, but settled in and did the work he needed. He won a 1-2-3 inning here, and that'll do it for the prospects. They'll run rule it here. The USPrime Titans, Chris Allard with the call. It's been a good one so far. Prospects will play the 8 o'clock game. Could be a little earlier start, but we will bring it to you live. For now, the players will hopefully get together and shake hands at the mound. And as always, sportsmanship prevails. That's really what is the key thing here, is these young players, a lot of them know each other from playing on different clubs and seeing each other around tournaments. But the prospects, they put this one in the books. They win the first one. Game number 2 coming up, the 2025 perfect game. Houston Super 1000, the Super Regional NIT. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We'll bring you game number 2 coming up shortly. For now, this one's in the books. Prospects take it 11-0. So long from Premier. We'll see you soon.